Welcome to the BIXPO 2021 newsroom. I'm your host, Ji-hee Wan. With me this afternoon is Dr. Angela Wilkinson. She is the Secretary General and CEO of World Energy Council. Dr. Wilkinson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So is this your first BIXPO experience?
It's my first BIXPO experience and my first visit to South Korea.
So what is your overall impression of the nation and the exhibition?
Well, my two-for-one experience. I think the BIXPO event is very high quality, international attendance and great contributions. Very impressed by the amount of new and innovative stories that are coming out of South Korea around energy transition. And my visit to the country is charming. It's beautiful. The weather's terrible at the moment,
Unfortunate.
but the people are warm and friendly.
So, I suppose you have visited some exhibitions and conferences here at BIXPO. So what has stood out the most so far?
What stands out is a story that's emerging in several regions, and that is rather than thinking about energy in silos, nuclear or gas or renewables, there's more of an ecosystem approach of connecting across the different types of energy supply and also thinking about how do we anticipate changes in demand. So this is what I would call a systemic approach to energy transition.
So would you please introduce your organization to our viewers?
The World Energy Council was established in the 1920s as the world's first permanent energy organization.
Oh, wow.
And it has worked for 100 years through at least 3 different eras of global energy transition: energy for peace, energy for prosperity, and now energy for people and planet. And we are an organization which is a community of communities. We try and organize in every territory in the world the main players of the energy ecosystem and the new energy ecosystem, and we bring them together. They work together cooperatively and collaboratively and innovatively, and we work in the service of energy society.
And obviously South Korea is a member as well. So what type of role has it played so far?
Well, South Korea was the host of the 22nd World Energy Congress in Daegu in 2013. And KEPCO was a huge supporter of that event. So South Korea has been one of the hosts of the World Energy Congress, which is a very big energy conversation. And I think the Daegu World Energy Congress also added a much more of a Asia conversation into the global energy leadership dialogue.
So as you know, this year's theme here at BIXPO is carbon neutrality, and the world has slowly moving towards net zero. So how has this trend emerged in the United Kingdom and in the world?
Energy transition is a process, not a destination, and has actually been going on for decades. The global energy transition challenge is not how to decarbonize, but how to decarbonize faster than ever before. So how do we get to net zero by 2050 in the case of South Korea? The UK has also set ambitious targets and timelines. So many different countries, companies and cities around the world now are setting timelines and targets. And the question is not can you put a timeline or a target together, but how do you implement? How do you move from the road mapping to the road building? And I represent the world's largest road building community, so we come to all these different events and we understand that there's no one size fits all. There's multiple pathways which reflect the increasing regional diversity in energy systems, societies and needs. I think that there's a lot of commonalities and there's also particularities and differences that we have to bear in mind on this journey together.
So last night, in fact, I read your article which was published on Energy Day at COP26. And you said in that article, I quote, "It is time to humanize energy." So what do you mean by that?
So when you go to a lot of the multilateral or global dialogue events, there's lots of conversations about technology and investment and trillions of zeros and big numbers. And actually, we have to humanize energy because energy doesn't exist for energy. It exists for uses and purposes to service the needs of society. And if we forget that, we will have an energy transition, but how will we judge if it's really successful If it's really if we decarbonize, but we make the energy system more expensive or exclusive or uneven. So I would like to see us talk about an energy transition which brings solutions for the many, not the few, which balances issues of decarbonisation and environmental sustainability with considerations of affordability and equity, and also the need for security and resilience.
Fascinating. So any final thoughts you would like to share with our viewers?
I think, first of all, I would say it's fantastic to see the work that's going on and the ambition in South Korea to achieve a more sustainable, climate neutral and socially inclusive energy future. And it resonates very strongly with what we at the World Energy Council are working towards in terms of humanising energy. The need that we're going to have to involve more people and communities at all levels of society to ensure that we can progress a global energy transition quickly, but also in a way which produces and shares more opportunities and benefits so that we get 10 billion people across the energy transition line and not just a few people.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing your insight with our viewers. And thank you for watching.